Welcome everybody, Red Arrow 23 here, time for another playbook episode. Today we're going to be looking at Java, or Javanaise, and we're going into the 3 o'clock position and we're going to be doing some shocks from there, a bit of a core rush. So let's have a look at the path. We're just clearing mines up here. These are all level 20 at the moment on massive attack. And then we're just going for a flag landing. So what we're trying to do here is land park all our Zookas around just underneath this boom cannon, between the boom cannons, machine guns and snipers. So we're going to do a nice clean walk, straight 45-degree angle all the way up. So you'll see this line just to the left of the circle there, that's just where he's about to tap a flare. So that line is perfect 45-degree angle, and if you follow the beach all the way up, that's the same line there, so it's a good reference. But you can see all the defenses are all in a perfect line along the same, they're all sort of parallel to each other, that 45-degree angle. So whenever you're flaring from the bottom up to the top, you need to make sure that those flares are perfectly in line and your Zookas will walk nice and straight. As Fly is about to demonstrate, so he's just flared just right of that line, getting his next smoke up. There was a little bit untidy with the machine gun popping him off a bit, but that's okay. And then let's go have a look at that flare just to the right of that line again. I like it. So Zookas are going to split into 2 lines, but that's okay, you can manage that. And we are going to hit this left mine. Usually that's what happens, and that's fine, we can take that. And then you'll see he flared just slightly further left in the gap between the machine guns and the shock launchers. He did lose a troop just here, so you may want to come up a little bit further, or even flare past the shock launcher, just above the power cell, or even below, between the other power cell and the shock launcher. That'll just keep them going in a straighter line. You won't have to worry about them drifting around that flamethrower. And remember that you're at the back of the map now, so everything you throw is going to take a long time to get there. So all your flares or your smokes, they're just going to take a long time to arrive. So here we go, the 2 double smokes down, the flare is out. He gets a bit lucky with this, Zookas going around the machine gun. And this 9 item here is possible in one shock. You want to definitely put this in a friendly challenge and test it out. Give it a good go. I believe there's two like pixels, 2 squares between the shock launchers and the machine guns, and it's possible in one shock. You just have to shock like the base, the middle machine gun. It's the base where the green turns into grey on the ground. That's your shock point. But you have to be like perfect, and if you miss it, there's not going to be enough time to throw anything else. And I believe Fly is going to go with the safe 4 shock. Obviously needs to shock these rocket launchers and these rocket launchers. So let's have a look. Critters up into the single shots in the smoke so he doesn't lose the delay, and then 4 shocks, and he's hammering the core. So those boom cannons and sniper towers are starting to pick him off. He went with the 4 shock because he's not going to be able to get anything useful out of the extra GBE that he saves on 3 shocks. He wasn't going to be able to throw an extra set of critters. If he did, it wasn't going to get him another shot with his Zookas. It just may have kept a few more Zookas alive before they got waxed by the shock launcher. So that's why he did that. And then let's check out Uni following up on Java. So going to use a very similar path, I believe. He's flagging a lot higher on the beach, which I like, and that kind of helped him with the machine guns, I think. And then he's flared to about the same point, and he's flaring about the same point again. You can flare higher than this, but this flare here is going to expire by the time you get to it. So up to you guys what you want to do with that. And he's going to go with the same flare, he's just going to leave it a little bit later, and all the Zookas go right of the flamethrower, which is perfect. And now he's going to go to that double smoke, flare up, Remember, some of those Zookas are going to go left of the machine gun, but that's fine. I believe he does go for the crazy shock. So he flees onto the core. Let's jump this into half speed. And he goes for the crazy shock. He was a little bit right and down. And he missed the machine gun. So he's got the rocket launchers on the left. He was a bit late with his critters, but that's okay. And the machine gun is going to town. Taking a little while. I don't know what that medkit was about, because I don't see any medkit, anything getting healed. And there you go. Boom! Has he got it? Has he got it? Oh yeah! So the core went down. That shock is definitely possible. You saw he got the bottom right shock launcher and the grappler. It's up to you guys whether or not you do try for that shock. It would definitely be awesome if you can get really good at it. Or you can just stay safe with the 4 shocks. Take note of all those flare points. Count the GBE. It is a very expensive GBE track, especially if the beach is hot. You might not have enough GBE to make the hit. So I hope all of those considerations help you out in Java in the future, if you're deciding to go to 3 o'clock. One thing I will mention before we go is, where these Zookas are, there's sometimes a fuel cell, power cell there. If there is a power cell there, it's very hard to get your Zookas in that spot. So I would suggest either going left and clearing, or even there's sometimes better to go between or just above the boom cannons and then flaring the core from there, which I might show in another video. But the spread is real with that power cell there. So hopefully that helps you out. Let me know anything how you do Java differently, or if this attack is something you do regularly, or if this is something that's blowing your mind and it's going to be really useful. And give us a thumbs up if you liked the video, thumbs down if you didn't, and subscribe for more Boom Beach.